Pour Some Sugar on Me is not the best Def Leppard song. At least that's what Joe Elliott said. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel. I will get to that statement in just a minute because it's part of an interview that Joe did recently, and I'm going to read to you what he had to say about some different things, and we're going to talk about it, and we'll get to that part. And if you want to read the whole article, it's from Blabbermouth. I will put a link in the description so you can read it for yourself. Let's go! So Joe was asked what motivates him and his bandmates to record new music. Because it's what we do. When we got together, yes, playing in front of an audience was priority. That's what every band wants to do, because we're all show-offs. I mean, come on, let's be honest. But you can't get up on stage unless you write some songs. Nobody's going to be a cover band forever, so you want to write songs. So it's in your DNA, because the bands that you grew up wanting to kind of mimic, The Who, the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, the Beatles, and then as you get a little older, like you're 10, 12 years old, you start listening to David Bowie, T-Rex, Queen, Mott the Hoople, Slade, and then the punk scene, the Sex Pistols, the Clash. You see these bands, they're writing all their own songs. It's what you do. Now it's only recently that there's been bands that are 30, 35, 40 years old. There were no 40-year-old bands when we started out. Led Zeppelin was still together, but they'd only been together maybe 8, 9 years when we formed. The Stones and The Who were probably 15 years old. It's crazy to think. So there were no legacy artists. So it's in your mindset from being a teenager that if you're in a band, you're expected to write. And as we got older, we just never lost that hunger to write. We've always done it. And let me take this moment to say thank you, Joe Elliott. Thank you for having that hunger to write new music, to record new music, to release new music. How many bands are there that just don't release new music anymore? And I know why, we all know why. The money is not in releasing new music. The money is in touring, merchandise, things like that. They're never gonna sell 10 million albums again, like they did with Pyromania and Hysteria, but still, they're motivated to put out new music. We just got a new album this year, Diamond Star Halos. I'm so happy that they have this drive, this hunger to put it out. And again, they're not putting it out because they're gonna make a ton of money on it. It's just because as a musician, as a writer, you wanna write that, you wanna record it, you wanna get it out there, you want the fans to hear it. And as a fan, I'm so thankful that they continue to want to do that. And I don't care if the new music is not as good as Pyromania, not as good as Hysteria, not as good as their classic stuff. I don't care. It's still good enough. I'm still happy to hear new Def Leppard music. I like a lot of the songs on Diamond Star Halos. I've listened to that album a bunch of times and I continue to listen to it. He added, "The day that I don't have any new songs, I'll dry up, as we all will, but we just keep pushing each other. My head is always churning up new ideas, and that's one of the reasons that we keep writing, is because we can't stop." And again, I say thank you for not stopping. All right guys, here comes the potentially controversial bit. Are you ready for it? We like to challenge our history. Pour Some Sugar on Me, and Photograph, and Rock of Ages, and When Love and Hate Collide, and Let's Get Rocked, they may well be our most well-known songs, but we have to think as artists that they're not necessarily the best songs we'll ever write. All right, let's talk about that. He's not saying that they're bad songs, and here's how I take it. Here's how I'm interpreting what he's saying. He's saying that we still have new songs to create. We still have more stuff. We're not done. We're songwriters. We make music, and we're going to continue to do that. And maybe this year, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, we'll come up with the best stuff that we've ever done, and it could be better than those songs. So first, let me just say, I'm glad that he feels that way, and that he has that motivation, and that they want to keep doing what they're doing. Although I have to say, I don't think they're ever gonna come up with anything that's better than what they did on Pyromania and Hysteria. It's pretty rare for bands to like put out new stuff decades later and then have it be like as good or better than what they did when they were in their younger years. That usually doesn't happen, but I don't care. I don't need like Pyromania Part 2. I don't need something that's better than Hysteria. Like I said, I'm just happy to get new Def Leppard music. It sounds like Def Leppard. It's good. I like listening to it. So I'm just thrilled that the guys have this desire to keep writing, recording, and releasing. We have to challenge ourselves to think we could write a better song. It may not be as popular, and it will always fight the history, a song that's 30, 40 years old, but we haven't necessarily written our best song yet. So that's what we keep challenging ourselves to do. And there's a little bit more stuff in the article, guys. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. I do want to mention that last spring, around the time that Diamond Star Halos came out, when they were doing a whole bunch of promotional interviews, I was watching one interview where Joe said, like, you guys are going to be surprised at all the cool stuff that we've got planned over the next, 3 years. And he seemed to imply that there would be, another new Def Leppard album sooner rather than later. Like, he made it sound like it's not going to be another 7-year wait, that we would get something well before that. And I just hope that's true, because like I said, bring it on. The more new Def Leppard music, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And it would be great if we got something and it didn't take 7 years like the last time. But back to his statement about Pour Some Sugar on Me, guys. What do you think about that? He said Photograph, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Rock of Ages. He said those aren't necessarily our best songs. So I'm going to tell you, for me personally, my favorite Def Leppard song, and it's always been my favorite Def Leppard song, is Photograph. To me, that is absolute musical perfection, and they've never done anything that's better than that, and that will always be my favorite. And I don't think they're ever going to come up with something better than that. But how many people out there consider Pour Some Sugar on Me to be their favorite Def Leppard song? Leave a comment and let me know what your favorite is. Is it one of those, or is it something else? I'd really like to know what everybody thinks about that. And also let me know what you think about what Joe had to say about wanting to continue to make new music and write music and release it. Isn't that good news for the fans? I certainly think so. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.